What's up, Breakwazers? So, guess what? Got a battle here against Betteredthansmeg. Many YouTubers have faced him. He's pretty good. I'll give him that. He is a pretty good battler. I enjoyed this battle with him. As you can see, it's a UU match. And I used some stuff that, I have never actually really used in UU. Raikou is about the only thing I've used in UU. The rest was just kind of, testing out the field. And I actually found out that my Ambipom needs a move switched because apparently when I was genning Ambipom, I messed up and didn't switch a move. And it really kind of sucked because then I couldn't get off U-turns and all that. So didn't have U-turn. That was rather highly disappointing. But, I mean, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you make those misgens. Sometimes it happens. What are you gonna do when they do happen? Cry about it? I'm not crying about it. But for the comment question, what is your favorite Pokemon in this match? Just choose. You see the preview, it's been up long enough. You can choose which one's your favorite Pokemon. And, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, he's gonna lead off with his Registeel, which I was hoping he wouldn't lead off with, but he does. And I lead off with my Ambipom. And I'm like, I could Fake Out, but it really wouldn't do me any good. So I switched to my Omastar, which is actually a Stealth Rock Spike supporter. And so I go for one Stealth Rock, get it up, and he's going to go for the Thunder Wave just in case I was the Shell Smash variety. Although when we were on Skype, he had mentioned he had a hunch it was a Stealth Rocker. And I get flinched, unfortunately. So I'm like, well, that's not good. And now he's going to bring in his Tangrowth, and I'm like, okay, cool, free layer of spikes, I can do this. And I get up a free layer of spikes, which is good, pretty fantastic. And basically I'm going to go for this Ice Beam, hoping it'll do a lot more damage than it actually ends up doing. It's really disappointing that it didn't. He does miss the Sleep Powder. I guess he expected me to switch from the threat of Tangrowth, but I didn't. And I go for the Ice Beam, and fortunately, since Tangrowth hasn't that annoyingly high HP stat, he is going to survive. That's not good. And he's going to Giga Drain me. And it's going to suck, because there goes my Omastar. Wow, okay. Omastar got up one layer of Stealth Rocks and one layer of Spikes, though. So that is going to help a little bit later in the match. So now I'm going to bring out my Porygon Z. And here I go for the Hidden Power, expecting it to be a Hidden Power fighting. He was actually predicting a trick. So he was going to try and get whatever I had. So I expected this to be Hidden Power Fire, and it turns out it's Hidden Power Fighting. So, yeah, I really should remember what Hidden Power I put on my Pokemon, but sometimes I just forget. And so now that he knows it's Hidden Power Fighting, he's going to bring in Weezing, because I can't do anything against it. And I'm going to bring in Raikou, which is probably the worst choice I could have brought in, but, oh well. He's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and I'm going to go for the Extra Sensory. He stayed in, forgetting that Raikou can get Extra Sensory, which is semi-funny. I laughed. And now he's going to bring in his Licky Licky, which this thing annoyed me the entire match. This thing was super annoying. Like, it and its tongue just annoyed me the entire match. And I actually had a chance to kill it off later in the match, and I didn't do it because I thought I'd make a smarter move and KO it off any other way, but yeah. Oh well. So, Extra Sensory is doing fairly decent because my Raikou is Choice Spect, and he's going to go for the Protect, which means that's good for me because his only other move is probably Dragon Tail to phase out things that try and set up for him. At least that's what I'm thinking at this point. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is great. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's pretty perfect. So I decided to bring in my good old, Girder, and he's going to be like, I ain't staying in with Girder. But of course, since he has a Regenerator Tangrowth, look at all that health that Tangrowth has back. This is why Regenerator Tangrowth is, yeah, pretty annoying. So he's going to go for the Sleep Powder, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll stay asleep, it's okay. I should be able to take Giga Drains pretty nicely, considering I'm Eviolite. And he's going to Leech Seed, which, that sucks, because I'm going to have to eventually switch out or just die to Leech Seed. So yeah, Leech Seed's taking some of my health, and that means he can just stall on me all day, every day. So now he's going to go for the Giga Drain. It didn't do much. I go for the Drain Punch, and get probably about the health that Giga Drain did damage to me, so I'm gonna obviously lose this unless I get a couple bulk ups up, which is gonna be difficult with him putting me to sleep all day every day. So I expect him to put me to sleep, so I stayed in and went for the Drain Punch because I'm trying to use Girder as sleep fodder because I don't really see much use for Girder at this point, considering the main threats that Girder would have taken care of. They're gone already, pretty much, except for Registeel, but I don't see him bringing in Registeel that fast, so yeah. Basically, he keeps missing with Sleep Powder, and I told him in the Skype chat, if you miss again, I am going to laugh. And he hits. It's okay. He deserved a hit after those 2 misses. And so, I'm fast asleep, so I'm like, okay, this is a good opportunity to switch out. Now that Sleep Clause is in effect, this will be really, really beneficial. And it'll be absolutely fantastic, so I decided to bring in my Ambipom. And he goes for the Giga Drain, and guess what? It's going to do a huge chunk. And I go for the Fake Out, and I get a crit. And right here, U-turn would have been much appreciated, but you know, I forgot. And so I didn't have U-turn. I messed up on the gen on this, so I didn't have U-turn. U-turn would have been a lot nicer, but I forgot it, so that kind of sucks. Because I would have been able to get off super effective damage on Tangrowth and then bring in something that threatens it. So I left my Ambipom in for Death Fodder, and he is going to switch out into his Licky Licky, and I'm going to go for the Tri-Attack. And right here is where I make the dirt move. So yeah, obviously one Tri-Attack would have KO'd him. Thank you, Choice Specs Adaptability Tri-Attack. But, you know, I decided to be a derp. I'm like, okay, well, you know, let's finish this off with Escavalier, because after this, he doesn't have really anything except Darmanitan, and I still have Porygon Z, so I should be okay. I missed the Mega Horn. Wow. Of all the things I could have missed in this entire match, a key Mega Horn, because, yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd survive a Darmanitan's Fire Punch, but the extra bulk would have been much appreciated. But I'm in Swarm range, so that's a dead Licky Licky. So, see you later, Licky Licky. And now he's going to just bring in his Darmanitan. And I think it's either Choice Banded or Life Orbed, I'm not really sure. But he carries the Fire Punch, so might be Choice Banded. And he's just going to clean up. So, good battle. Betteredthansmeg. 3-0. Pretty close 3-0, though, when you consider it, because one of his things, like Darmanitan I hadn't seen, but Registeel and Tangrowth were pretty hurt. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have sleep foddered the Girder, because I could have used it a little bit later on, turns out. But you know, we all make bad decisions from time to time. And that's pretty much the match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a loss. That's because it's been a while since I've actually faced a extremely someone who could give me a challenge. So thank you, Betteredthansmeg, for breaking the mold. I love it. And he mentioned he should have his side up here in a bit. So hopefully you get to see his side of you. I'm interested to see his side of you, honestly. But that's pretty much going to be all. So comment, because I love those comments. Like, because likes really let me know if you like the video or not. And subscribe if you haven't already. See you later.